The Legend of the Curse of the Bambino by Dan Shaughnessy. The day had finally come, the opening day of baseball season, and Kate couldn't wait. Dad had season tickets, the same seats Grandpa had had back in the old days. Everyone in the family was a Red Sox fan, and each year Dad took one of the children to the first game. It was finally Kate's turn. Kate had never been to Fenway Park before, and on this opening day, the Sox were playing the New York Yankees. Kate knew she would sit in a place where her dad, granddad, and great granddad had watched their favorite team. She imagined them sitting in these very same seats, cracking open peanuts and spilling the shells onto the concrete floor below. Dad, who was the greatest ball player who ever lived? She asked. That's easy, Kate, her dad said. It was George Herman Ruth, the great Bambino, the Babe, the Sultan of Swat, the Colossus of Clout. He was the best pitcher, then he was the best hitter. He had it all, and some think he's still part of the game. So here's a picture of Babe Ruth. His spirit is looking over everything at Fenway Park in Boston. Does he still play baseball? Kate asked. No, not since great granddad's time, and there was never another like him. But his spirit watches over the Red Sox, especially any time they're playing the Yankees. Why them? Well, Kate, Dad continued, the Babe started playing with the Red Sox when he was only a teenager, and they won the World Series 3 times while he was in Boston. Once the Babe left Boston, the Red Sox didn't win again for more than 80 years. Some people thought the Red Sox were jinxed because of his trade to the Yankees. That's what some call the curse of the Bambino. Great granddad was here at Fenway when the Babe won it with the Sox, and he used to tell me about it. So those pennants, of course, are showing the years that Babe Ruth helped the Boston Red Sox win the World Series. And now here is her great granddad's story. It was a gray Monday afternoon, September 9th, 1918. The World Series was being played earlier than usual because of war overseas. It was the Red Sox versus the Cubs. The Red Sox, led by their young, stout lefty pitcher, Babe Ruth, had been champions of the world in 1915 and 1916 and had never lost a World Series. Now the Babe gave them a great chance to win again. Though he was Boston's best pitcher, the Babe also led the league in homers and could beat the Cubs with his bat. When the series moved into Fenway Park, Boston led the Cubs 2-1 and needed only 2 more victories to clinch their championship. At the start of Game 4, the great Bambino was working on a World Series shutout streak of 23 straight scoreless innings. It had rained a few hours before the game, and great-granddad told me he sat on his newspaper to keep his pants dry while he watched from the right field stands. It was scoreless in the bottom of the 4th, but the Red Sox were threatening. They had 2 runners on base with 2 outs. Up next was the mighty Babe. Even though he was pitching most of the time, the Babe had walloped 11 homers in 1918 and was the most powerful hitter on the Red Sox. Gripping his bat tightly as he walked toward home plate, the Babe muttered to himself, "I'll take care of these National League bums." A roar went up in the Fenway stands when fans saw the Babe stepping up to the plate. "Hit it out, Babe," they yelled. "Win your own game," some shouted. "You can do it, Babe," other fans cheered. The park went quiet as Cubs pitcher Lefty Tyler threw ball 1, ball 2, then ball 3. The next 2 pitches were strikes. Then Lefty took his last windup. The last pitch, how is Babe gonna do? Fans were standing and cheering when Tyler threw again, and this time the Babe unleashed a ferocious swing, swatting the ball high and far over the head of the Cubs' right fielder. The Babe wasn't the fastest of runners, but his blast carried so far that both runners were able to score, and the Babe made it to third base for a triple. On the strength of his bat and his arm, the Babe was the winning pitcher for the Red Sox that day, and the Sox led the series 3-1. 2 days after the Babe's big win, Boston finished off the Cubs to win the World Series for a record 5th time. The Sox were the dominant team in baseball, and they had the best player, Babe Ruth. Fans filing out of Fenway Park thought their string of championships might never end. Big headline news. But just one season after that last World Series win, the Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees for cash. And it seemed that all of Boston's good luck went to New York with the great Bambino. The Yankees went on to win 26 World Series in Yankee Stadium, a new park that became known as the house that Ruth built. While the Yankees kept winning championships, the Red Sox could only come close. They seemed to have the worst luck in baseball, and over time, some people started to wonder if the team was cursed. So they make it look like Babe Ruth is interfering, but he really wasn't. That's just the curse that they think is upon them. And sometimes the strangest things would happen to the Red Sox. So there's a little newspaper article here that says, Bucky Dent's pop fly home run into the screen over Fenway's left field wall was the key blow as the Yankees defeated the Red Sox in a 1-game playoff at Fenway Park. Dent, a weak hitting shortstop, managed only 4 home runs during the entire season, but this blast propelled the Yankees to victory and sent the Sox home for the winter. When it came to the Red Sox in the big game, no lead was ever safe. I like how they make it look like the ball bounced off Babe Ruth's foot, but obviously it didn't. And the Yankees always seem to be coming out on top. And there Babe Ruth is helping their hitters on to victory. But then came the magical season of 2004 when the Red Sox beat the Yankees, won the World Series, and lifted the curse of the Bambino forever. There were articles like, the curse is reversed. Dad, Kate asked, did you ever believe in the curse of the Bambino? No, sweetie, I don't think the Babe would have ever done something like that. There was always hope for the Red Sox. It's like great-granddad said, you've got to believe in believing and never give up on your team. I think the spirit of the Babe was always with the Red Sox and always will be. And that's the end.